Okay. Versatile Vigilante, Young Vince, Uncle Vinny. We got a man that wears many hats in the building. Mr. T. Will.
Yes, sir.
My guy, appreciate you coming out, fam.
Appreciate you for having me.
We had to, bro.
Like I said, you're my first interview ever, so.
When you told me that just now, I got even happier, man. Like, let's fucking go. We're drinking coffee tonight, too. Staying up.
Indeed.
So how are you living, bro? I know you're a busy man.
Yeah, I'm good. Like, Lily just came from working. Then after this, I'm gonna be working more. So it is a grind, you know. Like, as a hustler, like there's no 9 to 5 really. It's always like you're always on 24 hours. You never know. Like, you hit me up to do this, I'm like, all right, I gotta do it, you know. So yeah, it's always working. Like, that's just me staying busy. I just came from Montreal, so I got to have some fun. But now, you know, it's back to work.
I saw that, bro. How was Montreal? We gotta dive into the weekend a little bit.
Yo, Montreal was fun. It was my homie's birthday. Shout out FA. It was his birthday. So me and like 20 of the homies, we all went to Montreal. So we had a time out there. We're in the clubs, we're in the bars, we're in the restaurants, we're in the stores. So yeah, it was fun. Shout out Montreal.
Shout out Montreal. Montreal's a nice little switch up from Toronto sometimes.
Yeah,
you know?
like honestly, it feels like a whole different world.
It is.
People are speaking French sometimes, but like I was telling my homie this because he was going to Montreal, and he's like, I don't know any French. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna talk to people. And I'm like, don't let them play you. Like, they all speak English out there.
Facts.
They do speak English out there, but sometimes people talk to you in French. And then we went to like I think it's called Old Port.
Yep.
And it looks like Italy or something. Like, it looks super European and crazy. Like, it's a different vibe. Like, yeah, it's a different vibe out there.
It is a different vibe, bro. It's different. Like, that's the best
and
way
that's
to
crazy
put it.
because like I call everything down the street, but like it's like down the street. Like,
it is in terms of like 4-hour drive. You can probably get there. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and it's like I get to use my same debit card. I get to use my same phone plan. So I
keep the cash.
Feel like I'm in Canada, but I'm not. Like, it's crazy. So even like I went to Vancouver, and that's a different vibe too.
I was to say that, bro.
Yeah, like Vancouver's a completely different vibe, and then I don't think I've been anywhere else in Canada, but. Like, yeah, Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal is like 3 different vibes. So
I agree. It's different parts of the world, damn near.
Exactly. Even like the States is like that though. Like every state even has their own rules and shit. So like it's
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, like each 50 states is different. So yeah, it's crazy that this one country is just multiple things. So.
It is crazy, bro. I like that you brought that up. I feel the same way. Like, the geography is so interesting when you think about you know, different markets.
Yeah, I'm like I like traveling and like moving around a lot, and like I'm not the type of person that's like, all right, I'm on vacation, let me sit back.
You want to explore.
I can't do that. I can't sit down. Like, I'm like, yo, what is their music scene look like? Their club scene. Like, what type of stores do they have? What is it like? What are people wearing? Like, what are the locals doing? Like, if I'm on a resort, I'm jumping off the resort. I gotta go see what's going on. Like, for sure. So I just like I like exploring the scene, like other people, like all the people and how they move. I'm like a people watcher and shit too. So like, gotta see what's going on. You know.
You are speaking my language, fam. T-Will's a real one. Everything you're saying there, you're like describing myself, bro. Because I'm the exact same way. When I'm out somewhere, let's make the most out of it. Like, let's go out. But I'm not. I don't know if this is how you feel. I'm not too much into like the party scene. I want to, like, kind of you said, just wander the city. You know.
Well, like, you know, like I come from like the DJ background, you know, and stuff like that. So I have to go see like
that part of the world.
Yeah, like, or at least like let me see like I like going into stores like, or like if I'm in Uber, like, so when we were in Montreal, we jumped in this guy's Uber and he's playing like French like rap music, like francophone.
Right.
So he's playing French rap music. It's like French like Afrobeat music. So I'm almost interested in like, yo, what are people listening to out here? Because it's super different, and it's like shit you would have never heard. But you jump in this guy's Uber and it's like don't plug your aux in. Let's hear what he got to play. And you get to hear some different type of music. So yeah, even if it's like I can't check out like your club scene, your party scene, like what are people listening to out here? Like, I'm always interested in that and just seeing like what's going on and stuff like that. You always find new gems like that.
You're absolutely right, bro. Diving into the culture of a city.
Exactly.
You know? Absolutely. And you're from Toronto.
Yeah. Well, Scarborough.
Shout out Scarborough, man.
You know, everyone in Toronto always got like a little subsection where they got a shout out. So for me, Scarborough. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's, again, a real Toronto shit.
No cat. Like.
That's real Toronto shit. And with what you're talking about, I feel like Toronto's that way as well, even living here.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Bro, we need like the culture is different from the
anywhere else in the world. Like it's the best city just because. Okay, you go to somewhere else, maybe there's only like this community of people or this race of people, but like my friend group has every race of people, so you don't even look at that a certain way. Like my Asian friends are eating black food, and my black friends are eating white food, and like everything. So it's just like we're so ingrained and mixed in the culture where like I'm hearing type of music that I would have never heard if I would only listen. Like if I lived in Atlanta, I'm listening to straight trap music.
Yep.
Just based on this how it is. Now it's like, I have friends that are Nigerian are putting me onto like some deep cut Afrobeat stuff that's not popular yet, or I'm hearing some music from other places around the world that are like you just never would have heard of if your friends were not of other different cultures and stuff like that. So being from Toronto is a crazy advantage. Even the food.
Oh man.
Anything you want to eat, you can have it, and there's like a fusion of it. Like in Scarborough, shout out anyone in Scarborough, you know Chris Jerk. It's jerk chicken. Shawarma, poutine.
That sounds fire already, man.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you're not going anywhere else in the world and getting that. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the fusion of fusions. Like so, the food, the culture, your music, everything just becomes a certain way. And like I think even like the way people like the outside world like views Drake, they're like, why is this guy doing Afrobeat, Latin music, dancehall? All these type of things, and it's like for us that makes total sense.
Versatile, man.
You're going to a party and you're hearing like every genre, so that's just like in your blood. So it makes sense when Drake like decides to do like dancehall or Afrobeats or Latin music or house music. So
you're absolutely right, bro. And the thing about what you're saying too is sometimes you have to find that shit. A lot of it is not. I'll say like quote unquote mainstream Toronto is like CN Tower, like tourist spots.
Yeah.
You're probably never going there if you're really from the city. There's so much other shit to do, you know?
Yeah, like I always say this to like my girl or like people around. I'm like, what the fuck do you do when you travel to Toronto? And it's not like Banner Weekend. I understand there's like bare shit to do. Other than that, I'm like what do you do that would be like crazy? Because we just like we have food, we have like different parties and all this. But maybe it's just regular to me. But I'm just like what would you do? Like if someone came up to me and texted me like, yo, I'm in Toronto, what is there to do? I'd be like, shit, I don't know.
Bro, you know the rapper Wretch?
Wretch, from New York?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He said some real shit one time. He was talking about his girl, actually. He's like, the question was, what's your like dating strategy or whatever? He's like, yo, if you just do cool shit regularly, like that's your life.
Yeah.
Just bring them with you. And I feel like that's the answer to your question, bro.
Yeah.
Like, bring them with you while you're running around. They'll have Toronto. They'll have a fucking great time.
Yeah,
man.
fact. Like honestly, yeah. Like if you're running around with me, you could find yourself doing like some like different shit. You'd be like, what the fuck? Because I have like friends from high school that like look at me as like, yo, you're doing crazy shit. You're around crazy people. I'm just like I don't know, but like that's just like the creative mentality where it's like, okay, you're on level. You feel like you're on level 1 because you're trying to get to level 10, and it seems so far, but you didn't realize, okay, like if you look back 5 years ago, this was level 10.
You're absolutely right.
So I find myself doing that where I'm like, I don't really do shit. Like even when you ask to interview me, it's like that imposter syndrome. I'm like what the fuck are you gonna talk to me about? Then you look back and you're like, oh, okay, like yeah, this is where I wanted to go. But it's like now, like I said, that level 10 now is level 2 or something, you know. So you just start looking farther and farther, and then like the dreams get bigger and your aspirations grow and everything like that. So just like I think I
100% agree with you, bro. Because I've said it kind of like this before. It's exercise. All the shit you do is exercise. You do consistent exercise, you're going to be stronger.
Exactly.
And the creative stuff, it's the fucking same.
Exactly. Like that 10,000 hour shit is so real.
It is.
It's so real. And like even when you get to 10,000, like get ready to start at 0 again.
Exactly. Whole other section to deal with now, man. Yo, so I can tell you were always a creative guy. Like I just get that vibe. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I always say so. Like ever since I was young, like I always remember this story. Like I don't know why it stuck with me, but it was like a field trip, and we went somewhere, and they were going around asking everybody like what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do when you grow up? And everybody was like saying like, you know, like whatever, like I want to be a nurse, da da da. And I was like, I want to be famous. And then they gave me a follow-up question. They're like, famous for what? I'm like, I don't know, but I know like I don't want like a regular job. And that was like years ago, even before like I had any aspiration to like becoming in the music industry or anything like that. Like I said, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. I'm like, I want to be like, I don't want a regular job. I knew that from young. From young, I knew that.
What was the first thing you kind of did to go down that direction? Like having the thoughts one thing, but the actions whole different. When was that first step you feel? Or even not like the first ever step, but even a moment where you're like, no, like I really feel this way.
I don't know. There was like a bunch of those. It was like when everybody was like when FaZe Clan was like coming up. It's like, okay, I'm gonna become a YouTuber and I'm gonna do like gameplay videos. That didn't work. I never did it. Or I was like, I'm gonna be like a film director. So I was like filming like little like videos on like the family camera and things like that. Or like I was like rapping at one point or becoming a producer at one point. And then I think when I arrived at DJing eventually in like grade 11, grade 10, grade 11, that's when I was kind of just like that was like the first time when like, okay, this works. So then I stayed on that. And then that eventually grows into other things. But like DJing was like the first time when like I got somewhere and I'm like, okay, yeah, I think I can really do this shit. Like for real.
Got you. And I see like DJing is still a consistent thing that you do.
Yeah. So like I don't think that will ever go anywhere. But the dreams have definitely grown to like I want to work behind the scenes, like with artists, or I want to like have like my hands on the music, or like event planning or being a part of concerts, and like even just like I have this conversation all the time. I'm just like there's so much roles to do in the music industry that is like not talked about. Like everyone always thinks about, okay, I want to be the rapper. If you're not the rapper, you're the producer. If you're not the producer, you're the A&R. Like everyone always talks about like those like 3 roles. I'm like, yo, there's thousands of jobs that you can do that are like sick, and you can get paid like pretty nice and have a salary where it's like you're not relying on a hit or someone else to make sure your shit's booming. So yeah, the dream grows, but like I think DJing is always gonna be there, but I really have no like for me no like shade to any DJs because I like what DJs do is amazing, but like for me I'm like DJing has a ceiling where I'm like, especially as a hip hop DJ, if you're not like producing your own music or whatever, like how far can you go? You can have residency in Vegas. Okay, cool. Well, like what else? And once I realized I'm like, okay, that's the top of like where I can do. I'm like, I can still get there, but like I think I want more than that. So like DJing is cool, and then just like you just had to pivot. Like when COVID happened, it's like the fuck is a DJ gonna do? Like I'm not that guy. I'm not that type of DJ where I can entertain a camera and it's just me DJing in the room to a live stream. Right. Like that's not me. I play for the crowd. I'm gonna get the crowd excited. So like when that happened too, I'm like you see, like this is not really.
I like the way you put it, bro. I have those thoughts myself and conversations myself where it's like you have a dream, but you also can't be naive.
Exactly.
Like, you have to have your eyes open. You know, it's dream huge, but be smart. You got to understand the game too.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I said, there's so much roles. Like even like what you're doing here. Okay, yeah, you have the podcast, but like there's guys that have 3 podcasts.
Yeah.
Or you can go on radio, or you can start doing other stuff. So, like, what people do is cool, but like, I guess understand like the scope of like the landscape in the game is like a big thing. Like if anyone was looking for this for advice, like understand like what is that ceiling if a ceiling exists.
Yep.
And then how could you like pivot your skills as a DJ? Like there was this Instagram post one time. It was like, how do you transfer your skills as a DJ to do other things? Well, you know how to place records, so you can do A&R work, or you can do playlisting, curation, and other things like that. So even like when I apply for like music industry jobs at labels or stuff like that now, it's like, okay, I don't have any experience on paper, but as a DJ, what did you learn? And then that stuff actually comes in handy half of the time.
Right.
Because you're learning other skills, so don't like limit yourself to one thing because that's your like obviously like chase your dream, but there's so much stuff within the creative field that like you can still hit your dreams and do it in a different way.
You're absolutely right, bro. And it's true. It's like you can't put ceiling on yourself, limit on yourself. But a question I want to ask you, because I deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
You ever feel like maybe you got your hand in too many different things at once? Or
Oh hell yeah.
okay, speak on that, bro. I deal with that too.
Even like but then I realized no one has it figured out. So
Well said.
Like we're all kind of all faking it.
Very well said.
But like, cause like I was in the remix project last year for PR. So a lot of people came and talked to us that like do multiple stuff. So there was like people that like worked at this big brand and this label, but they're also a journalist and they're also an event planner and they're also this and they're also this. And the question I kept asking them was like, how do you juggle everything? And they're like, I don't.
Yeah.
They're like, you just try and be as organized as possible and just do your best at things, but like they don't have it down. And I'm like, okay, if you're working at this big company doing all this, all right, shit, then I don't really have to have my shit together. And then I think that realization kind of helped me, but it's also just like I like being on top of everything. So like knowing myself is like a big thing. So like if I know I have 9 to 5 work and I need an hour to get here or whatever, or this is gonna take this amount of time or this is gonna do that, like I'm cool to say no. But also just I also understand like the weight of like what one thing can do, or what, like if I say no to a DJ gig, sometimes I'm saying no to like 10 after.
100%.
So it's just like just being on top of certain stuff and just like I said, like this is like a 24-hour job. There's no like
no days
there's no
off.
signing out.
No signing out, no days off.
Exactly.
Man.
So yeah, that's, I guess, is how, if I have.
Are you going through this right now? Because bro, I literally had these conversations and thoughts like this week. Like it's tripping me out. You're telling me about shit that I've literally just been thinking about.
Yeah, I think literally, I think you could talk to any creative and they're like this too, especially like the kind of creative we are, where it's like you kind of like you wear multiple hats. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, I'm pretty sure you're editing the audio, you're filming this right now, you're doing the interview, you're preparing for the interview. Then you're also thinking about, okay, this interview's happening now. What's the next interview happening after this? So like that alone within a podcast, you're wearing like 5 production hats alone.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure you probably have other responsibilities or other things that you do in your life. So I think everyone as a creative is like that, unless you're working like I feel like if you're like an artist and you're like a full-time artist and you can kind of make some change where you can just live that life where you can only make music, then cool. But I think most artists are like, you're also like the producer, you're also the songwriter, you're also the marketer, you're the A&R, you're the manager. So I think everyone wears different hats, and like I said, nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Like we're all just, and I think once everybody knows that, like once like that smoke and mirrors clears and the people that are trying to get into this understand that, I think a lot more people will be like, okay, like I can chill.
Wow, bro. I 1000% agree again. It's kind of like we're the boss of our own life.
Exactly.
We make the best moves we can. I like putting it this way. Are you a baseball fan by any chance?
No, but like I'm interested to hear where this goes.
Bro, a baseball, 162 games in the regular season. That's a fuckload of games.
Holy shit.
The best team will win like 100 games. That means they lost 62 times. Mm-hmm. They were the best.
Yeah.
Best team.
Yeah.
And I think that's how life is, bro. Like you're never not going to take L's for that reason you said. There's no days off. There's no signing out. Mm-hmm. But we're going to get some fucking wins too.
Exactly. And then like when you get those wins, like remember those more than the loss. Because I think a lot of times like, we focus on the loss. But like a win is a win. Like it doesn't matter if it was small. Like, okay, this A&R followed me or like liked my picture, or this, okay, you're on the radar of these people, or this person commented on your thing, or this got 20 views and the last one got 10.
Yeah.
So like take any win you can and just move forward, and it's okay. Like you said, you got 20 this time. Okay, let's get 30.
You're absolutely right, man. Because we're the ones seeing everything we do like every day.
Yeah. Like I know that you probably like watch back your interviews or like saying shit like that, and you're like, fuck, I should ask this question, or like, oh, why did I do that? Or but like,
there's always something, and then there's always something next.
Exactly. Yeah. Like even I always tell people like with events and shit, when we think crisis is going on, the crowd just like, oh, this is amazing.
Huge
This is amazing.
facts.
Like a lot of people are like, this is good. I'm like, yo, do you understand what the fuck is going on in the background right now? Like this shit's a damn mess. But they don't know. So like a lot of people like they just don't even see the behind the scenes or know the behind the scenes is a mess. They just see like what's presented to them or like what's going on and like, this is amazing. It's just that we're seeing everything. We're like, I could have did this better. This is fucked up. This person fucked up. Whatever. So yeah, like I feel like we're just our biggest hurdle. Like anyone that stops you half of the time is probably you. And that's a big thing for me. Half of the time I'm stopping myself. And it's like if like I move out the way, like as how much productive I could be, it would be like crazier. But
I feel you on that, bro.
You just get through that yourself.
Exactly. That's a life journey, bro. That's a life journey. Kind of your point of no one figured it out.
Exactly.
You ask an old person like what's the key to life, they usually won't say like do this and this. It's usually gonna be like do your thing. Like do
exactly,
what you think is best. You know? No 100%. Manual out here.
Definitely not. Like I said, yeah, no one knows what the fuck's going on.
Real shit, bro. So you stuck with the DJing. Was that early on DJing at clubs or was it more local party stuff like that?
The DJ life, like I said, it started like grade 10, 11. So what was cool was our high school had like DJ equipment. So like we would literally just set it up. Shout out stage crew, but we literally set up like DJ equipment, like speakers, like random times, basketball games, lunchtime, whenever, and we would just DJ. So we were just playing tracks and all that stuff. So that kind of started in high school where we were playing like music for the basketball games or music for like the school dance or like certain shit like that. And then before I even had my own equipment, I DJ like a house party on Virtual DJ. So that's just like a computer program where I was using a mouse and I was DJing a party, like a house party. And then eventually I bought my own shit. And then it was just house parties, like random house parties that like I was gonna end up going to, and I was just like, yo, let me DJ that. Like that was like my thing. I would just tell people, let me DJ that, and I would DJ. It was free. Then eventually I started getting paid, and then as we kind of like moved out of high school, there was like these random opportunities where like there was this warehouse, 170 Spadina. If you've ever been to 170 Spadina, you know like this shit is like legendary shit goes down at 170 Spadina. So that was our spot. And it was like a warehouse that fit like 400 people, and we would like pack it out, and like it would be fucking crazy. There was like this like trap house like behind it that was crazy as well. They were just like I was just doing random venues like all through like 2016, 2017, and then like the DJ life was just random. It was just like I was going gig to gig to gig to gig. And it was like whatever people needed, like I was there. You needed a school dance, I was there. It was a barbecue, I was there. House party, I was there. Concert, local showcase, I'm there. So I've done everything as a DJ. Like it's crazy, yeah. And then
your DJ stripes.
Yeah, and like the clubs, I didn't even start doing clubs until like more recently. Like I was never like the club DJ. Like it was always like the most random like underground type shit. And even the clubs I do now is like it's not like the big like extravagant rebel whatever like that. It's like the low key like lounges that are like clubs as well, but they're fire, like the Sari Not Saris, the Libertines, the Apartment 200s, like little hole in the wall spots where like if you know and the creative scene's booming there. Like that's the shit I've always done, and I always found like more like fun out of that. I definitely do want to do like a big club that's like packed out. Everyone's like there, their turn, and like I just play a bunch of tracks, but. Yeah, I'm just taking it how I go. Like, whoever texts me or calls me, whatever, is like, yo, you want to do this? Like, that's what we're going to do.
I love that, man. That's how it has to be, bro.
Exactly.
Kind of staying present and enjoying as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yo, you mentioned some clubs that I found jokes because I've never been inside Sari Not Sari, but every fucking time I'm in that neighborhood, it's packed, bro.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Nah, it's crazy.
What's so good about this place? I'm just curious. From a Toronto guy that I trust his opinion, man.
So there's actually two venues like within that. So there's AM PM is on the top floor.
Okay.
That's more like clubby stuff like that. And there's the bottom. Sorry, not sorry. It's like a basement. Just imagine like a basement party with like bottle service. Right. And so the ceiling's low. It's like vibes in there. Like you might get a bit less mainstream tracks, but the energy is gonna be popping, and it's like it's small in there. It's like close. there's only like 150 people can fit in there, and the DJs are like really like ingrained in the crowd, and like it's just like
it's popping.
Yeah, it's just like it's very community almost. Where like, cause I would like even like what I always say like if you go to the States, if you go to like Miami, Vegas, it's all about the club name. Like this club, like you go to like Club Live, like that is the club, and that club has a brand. Here, the DJ's running shit. Mm-hmm. So if this DJ is at this random bar, lounge, hole in the wall, basement, whatever, people are pulling up if people fuck with that DJ. So that's just like that. Like that's why it's Sorry Not Sorry. Like if there's like a pop, like if there's like Boosie Fade going on, or there's like certain DJs spinning going on, you're gonna see it packed.
Okay.
And the vibes in there are gonna be like the best shit ever. Like I know you say you're not a party guy, but you should just go one time just to be like a fly in the wall and just like watch.
You DJ there?
I have, yeah. I done like my own parties there.
Next time you fucking DJ, let me know, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And like it's like, yeah, you're gonna have a good time. It's not because it's not like a lot of clubs these days that people don't really fuck with is like it's based on bottle service, so people are not really dancing and shit like that. Sorry Not Sorry, you're gonna see a bit more dancing and like people are having fun and shit like that.
I love that, bro. I'm down. I always fuck with the street level partying, like Sorry Not Sorry to me is like real Toronto shit.
Exactly, yeah. Like what you said, like if I was someone wanted a recommendation of like where to go, I'm being like, yo, go over there. Yeah. Go to Cold Tea, go to Apartment 200, go to Libertine.
You know the spots for real.
Yeah.
And that's what I fuck with, bro. Because again, I wanted to talk to you. You're someone that moves around. You're outside. That's how I like to phrase it. I respect that, hearing your opinions because you're seeing it and doing it. Mm-hmm. So a question that I had for you was, how is the Toronto nightlife scene? Because I hear two different things. I see it with my own eyes, but I'm not in the clubs and shit.
Yeah, well, I would say like there's two different worlds. If you're in the nightlife scene, you know this. There's King Street, and then there's like Dundas West, Queen West, Osington, those areas. So King Street West is where people are like, this shit's ass. Da, da, da. It's also you gotta know where to go. You gotta know when to go, and you gotta know some people to have like a really good time. And like I said, follow the DJs. So King Street, those are your mainstream clubs. You're gonna find maybe a bit more like EDM dance music on most places, but there's places like 44. There's Door 3, Toy Box on like Saturdays, Century. There's like different places where you can find like your hip hops and stuff like that. So on King Street it's expensive, and it's really reliant on bottle service and that type of nightlife.
Yes.
If you're a person of color, I don't really know if maybe that's the spot you want to go to just because of how things go sometimes. But like I said, depending on like when you go, where you go, how you go, it'd be a different experience. Now your Queen West, your Dundas, your Osington, like those areas, those are like where you're gonna find, like I said, like the hole in the wall spots, like those Libertine, Cold Teas, all those places I mentioned before. That's where you're gonna start finding more culture, where you're gonna start hearing like Afro beats and dance halls mixed in with hip hop and different mashups and different edits and things like that. So for me, that's where I usually go. King Street is rare for me to really be at, but like there's like those random nights where you're just over there. But
real shit. No, I feel you on that, bro. I agree. I also like Bloor, like stretches of Bloor.
Okay.
It's not too much club shit, but it's some random ass spots like Koreatown kind of.
Okay. Yeah, I never really did like anything over there.
That's some good shit. We'll go there one time, bro.
Say less, yeah.
Explore.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch. Even if you want to do like bar hopping and stuff like that, like there's a bunch of areas you can go to. Like nightlife in Toronto, there's a bunch of everything. If you don't know where to look, you're gonna find yourself in a place where like this is not your vibe. But there's so much vibes that like you shouldn't be able to not find something. You just gotta know where to look. So if I'm looking over here and like this is my vibe over here, like obviously I'm gonna be like shit's ass. Bro, once you find your tribe, it's like okay, bet like you know? Exactly.
Did you ever watch? Do you remember the chef Anthony Bourdain?
Nah.
He had a show where he would go to all these different cities and eat, and he was coming to Toronto, and he's like, I don't really like Toronto. He's like talking shit, and he got here and he got in touch with like some real guys in the city, like restaurant owners, like real Toronto shit, and he had the best time. And the cook was like, you need to know where you're going in Toronto to have a good time. You know, it's a place where you kind of have to wander a bit to find shit. It's not right in your face.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, Yeah, you really gotta know somebody. Like if you came here just like not knowing anybody, like I don't know, you might end up in the wrong neighborhood, you might end up in the wrong restaurant, like the wrong club, like I don't know, like it's like
it's true, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yo, I love talking to like. To me, you're an important part of Toronto. Okay, like you're doing your thing. You're bro. This guy is a well-connected guy, Twxll, bro. Like, and I respect that a lot. And the reason I like to talk to people like you, it reminds people that Toronto's a real fucking city, bro. Like a real factor.
Yeah.
A real big city.
Yeah.
You know, I love that type of shit. We forget that. I think we got that like underdog mentality too much sometimes. Like, no, Toronto has a lot of shit.
Yeah, like even to speaking based just on like music, we have the best producers in the world. Like every album, well, I'm speaking on hip hop, but every album in hip hop has a Toronto producer. You're seeing Boy Wonder, you're seeing Wonder Girl, you're seeing 1985, you're seeing all these people. We're the best producers in the world. We have Drake and The Weeknd alone, like,
and Justin Bieber, bro,
and then you can go and Nelly Furtado, and you can go, Avril Lavigne, you know what I'm saying, like
huge stars.
Then you can go Tory Lanez, Nav, you can go like the list is long, but we always like I feel like the gap is so big from like Drake to like whatever artist you want to put after that conversation, so that people are like like it's hard to get there, but like. Or like that was like a one-time thing, but like, yo, be inspired by that.
Exactly, man. And you know what else too? I've seen it a little more lately too, like Pressa and the Smiley, like guys that have really leveled up. Mm-hmm. I see them as factors in the hip hop game now, bro. Like I see other rappers like posting Pressa, like posting
even
Smiley.
Like Bia. Artist, she said she got her flow from Smiley.
Yeah, man, the culture inspiration's real.
People are watching. Even like when like Six was like first started, you would randomly see like celebrities or like rappers from like other places of the world like following and commenting on Six shit.
K Coke.
Exactly, like random shit. So
always
like
Toronto.
Yeah, like, and there's like a lot of artists I like fuck with like Toronto people, like even like OGZ from LA is like.
That's exactly who I was thinking of.
Yeah, too. He's very involved. Like,
bro, he's moving like he's from Toronto.
Exactly,
lately, bro.
Like, yeah, he loves it over here. So
he was in the Apartment 200, I think, too.
Probably, yeah,
man.
Apartment 200 has seen a lot of like sick people. Like Dave's been over there, Georgia Smith, like. Skepta, like even Drake's been in Apartment 200. Like Apartment 200 is a legendary spot.
It is a legendary spot, man. You spun there as well?
Yeah, I spun there a couple times. Yeah, it's dope.
I gotta ask you like the classic podcast interview question. What's the wildest DJ night you had? Like some crazy shit some fucking fans did, some shit that happened, whatever, bro.
2017 times, like everything was fucking crazy.
Okay.
But there was this one party, like I said, 170 Spadina. There was this trap house behind it. So I was spinning there, and so this was like 2017 when Killy was like bubbling.
Yeah.
So like Kilimanjaro was taking off, but Distance wasn't out yet. In between there, it was like May 2017. So it was turned in there. It was turned. All my people that were there know, like, the floor was breaking. So it was just jumping in there. Like the parties we used to do, straight mosh pit from so they were running 10 to 2. By 11, you can't come in. And, like, by 11:15, the place is, like, sweat. While they're sweating, you're sweating. You're like, shit, it's hot in here. Like, early is jumping. So, like, like, the floor foundation was breaking. So the owner of the crib was like, I don't want everyone to fall to like there was like no rules there, but he was just like looking out, like he's like, yo, this shit's about to break. I've broken a couple floors at house parties before, people know, but so like this one, like the floor was breaking and shit. So they're like, yo, play some other shit that like people are not gonna like jump to. So I'm like, all right, so no more trap music. Let me just play like dance out. Like it's not really a dance out crowd. They're not gonna go crazy. They went stupid. They went crazy. Then, the floor's about to break. Killy's like standing on top of some shit, going crazy. And then after the police come and they're like shutting it down. So like, you're looking out this way, you're seeing lights flashing, and then they're like the floor is about to break. There's like the floor foundation looking like this. So then after I'm like, so then yeah, like party done, lock out the music. So yeah, I packed my shit up real quick. Everyone's still in the house. And I don't know how, but I weaseled my way through the crowd, my DJ shit. And then there was like this fence, and there was like one board missing out of the fence. You know those fences that just have like the board is just like this. So there was one board missing, and I slipped out of there. And then I hopped out, and I just escaped. Like no one see me even leave. No police talk to me, nothing. Like I weaseled my way out. So yeah, that was just one thing. I remember that I'm like, yo, this felt like a fucking movie. From like the floor is breaking, the police is coming, they're coming inside, they're trying to take people away. I'm like, I'm sneaking out in the middle of a fence. Like that was just one. Like I always remember that night, like vividly. Like there's been crazy ones. There's been I did a Halloween party at a frat house, and like I said, like 10:30 filled, like 200 people in there. People from the frat house are like, yo, you guys are fucking up our crib. You gotta shut it down. So they're trying to kick us out. People are trying to like climb through the windows. They're breaking windows to get into the party because it's so fire. Like
holy fuck.
Yeah, 2017 was just so fun. Like it was literally a movie. There was another one where like the police came and tear gassed the party, and I escaped out of there too. No tear gas involved. Like. I always have like the quick setup. Like I always like, cause you never know when a fight's gonna break out or whatever's gonna happen. So I always have myself with just like a quick setup. It's like this, boom, put this in the backpack, boom. I could be out in 2 minutes.
Hell yeah, bro! You're a professional.
Yeah, I do this. Like I said, I started in Scarborough where like you never know when something could happen. So I've always been ready just to leave on a moment's notice. Gone.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, so like, yeah, those are my like crazy stories. Like, I feel like they're not like extremely crazy, but like, yeah, those are just like fun moments I remember as a DJ.
Those are awesome stories, bro. You broke the damn house and you got away.
Yeah,
fire.
I broke it. I think I have like three floor foundations under my belt. Like
you're like Shaq breaking the backboards,
exactly,
bro.
Yeah,
the houses, I fucking love that.
Yeah, no, it was dangerous times over there.
Sometimes, bro, we think back on things too, where it's like a lot of fun shit was quite dangerous. Like,
100%.
Usually hand in hand.
100%.
Do you feel like you're as wild? Maybe I'll say wild as you once were, or you feel like you're a little more?
Hell no, I'm super reserved now. Like
yeah.
I'm chill, but the mission has always been the same. So it's just like, but I don't think I was ever like the crazy guy. Like I was never like the super like whatever guy, but like I like more calm situations now. Like not really trying to break no floors or see like random fights or because
yeah, you've seen that and done that.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, even when I like accept certain gigs now, I'm like okay, like what is the situation? Like it's got to be at a certain standard now because I'm not doing like the random house party in this hood and like, or I gotta pull up with this or like I rather just like let's do everything professional at this point now. Like everything has to be like a certain standard.
I feel like that goes back to your earlier point in the interview of like you're reaching new levels.
Exactly, yeah.
That comes with new shit.
Yeah. Like there was even like a DJ gig recently where I kind of knew that like it wasn't gonna be a good situation, so I'll just like, yeah, this is the price. If you guys are not paying the price, then like I'm really cool with not like pulling up like, cause even like the way you price yourself is gonna gauge your clientele almost. So if it's like very low, you're gonna get some people that maybe you're not that serious, and then at the end of the night when it's time to pay the check, it's like, oh yeah, the party only made $50, so here's $50 instead of the 200 you. And it's like I'm not at that point no more. Like bills gotta get paid at this point, and like money means more now than it did when I was 19.
That's a great point too.
Yeah,
that's a really good point, bro. How did you kind of start coming up? How do you pay attention to what other DJs charge, or are you more like, this is what I was doing, this makes sense now?
There kind of is like a standard price, but like you also gotta gauge it to like, you're not gonna charge the club the same as much as you're gonna charge like a house party.
Sure.
Or you're not gonna charge it as much as like a fashion show or certain things like that.
Or
like,
a homie or something.
Yeah, like certain stuff you're probably not gonna take a loss, but you'll take like a reduced pay. or if I knew that like this could lead to more things. All right, what's your budget? Like, let's just do it. Or for like, I just like want to do it. I was gonna pull up already. Like, there's no like base rate for me. Like, it's not always like, okay, it has to be like 100 an hour or anything like that. It's always just like, I'm pretty flexible. I kind of just gauge it based on like, okay, what time is it? Like, how much is it gonna cost me to do this? How much prep work is gonna take me? And then we'll just go from there. But as long as I know like I'm not gonna lose money doing it, or like I'm wasting time or whatever, then that's how you kind of make the price, because it's flexible. You can make the price whatever you feel like it.
Real shit. That's the beauty of being your own boss at the end of the day.
Exactly, yeah. And like sometimes people just present you a price and you're like, yes or no, or I didn't know that you had pockets like that.
Yeah, big facts, man. Business is business. Business is a separate part of
100%.
Your work, you know?
Yeah.
That's real shit. And I think also good to talk about, because there is a time to pay attention to that. There's a time for having fun. There's a time for this, but there's a time for the business shit
exactly, too. And I think, too, like, when people are starting, they think about, okay, everything has to be money. Like, even, like, now, like, I'm trying to get into, like, the more business world of things and stuff like that. So, I'm doing an unpaid internship.
Okay.
Some people would be like, oh, I need money, da-da-da. But, like, I've worked enough. I have other side hustles and stuff like that where I could take an unpaid internship to, like, I know that's going to lead to more things. Or, like, when I first started DJing, like I said, shit was free. I wasn't making any money DJing.
Yep.
But now I cemented myself in the community where it's like, okay, now, like, there's things behind it. So, like, if you're just starting out, like, understand that, okay, you might have to do shit for free or for the, like, the very low. And then you just have to know when to know yourself to, okay, now let's start charging a certain price.
Great. That's an awesome tip for anyone, bro, because you're right. Not every dollar is equal.
Exactly.
And experience is, I still think, the most valuable commodity, bro. As wild as it sounds, you get experience. Now I know what to do.
Exactly, yeah. And, like, don't let people take advantage of you. But, like, I think people put too much stock into money sometimes when, especially in the creative scene, like, you're only as good as your last project.
Right.
You're only good as your last gig. So if your last gig was crazy, you never know. Someone might think, oh, how much did they pay you? And you didn't get any money off of it. But, or like I've done gigs where like I've left there with like 50 new followers. It's almost more valuable than thing. Or like people are like, I've left gigs and they're like, oh yeah, I want to hire you for this and this and this and this. Absolutely. Now one thing turned into 5.
Absolutely, bro. That's good business sense.
Exactly.
I hear music industry people talk about music that way too, where it's like maybe you're not gonna get paid too much on the music part of it, but that could turn into your merch. You can go on tour with this album. Like, it can be way more income than just paid for what you did.
Exactly, yeah. But like I said, like, don't let people take advantage. Like, there's always like that, like, there's like that borderline that like no one even knows exactly what it is. You kind of just gotta feel it and just gauge it.
Real shit, man. You need that confidence to sell or buy, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
I love that. So, with the events, was that something that just naturally started happening after DJing?
Yeah, so it was like, I actually like wrote an article about this.
Sick.
So it was pretty much like I was DJing, but I felt like I kind of hit it like a wall where it's like, okay, I'm not getting any DJ gigs. So it was like, how do I get more DJ gigs? I have to prove I can DJ. So I'm like, instead of waiting for you to hire me, I'm going to hire myself. So I started doing my own parties with like some friends and shit. And I was hiring myself to DJ every party. So that way I was making money off of the door and shit like that. I was planning these parties. And I was also like growing my stock as like a DJ. Where like, oh, he's really nice at this shit.
Right.
So that's how it kind of started, like me throwing parties and shit like that. And then I always had like this mentality where I was gonna go like do parties, do like local showcases, and then do like concerts. So that was always like the 3 steps I always had. And like a festival in the future. So yeah, because the way we used to do our parties too, we used to have performances at the parties. So like I said, Killy used to be like at our parties, and like other rappers. Like we even brought out D Savage one time, and other activists, and like certain people have like pulled up to our parties and shit, and we've gotten them to like jump on the mic and just like perform tracks, or like yeah, we have like Kato and like Sega and Josh and SG Bands. Like we used to have like a bunch of like local artists that were kind of doing their thing. They'd probably pull up with like 30, 40, 50 people at the parties. They perform like 3 songs and like it would be jumping. So we naturally kind of like shifted that into like I wanted to like, okay, I can do concerts now because I love concerts. And then yeah, and then in the future I definitely want to do like a big festival. So yeah, that's how it went. And then so I started like there's like different companies and shit. I started like with different names and shit. But so I've did like local showcases. I done this thing called the mall, where it's like we just get a bunch of like it's like pretty much just like a marketplace with like a bunch of different brands, but we called it a mall. I did like a karaoke party where like we made like all the karaoke graphics and shit. What else have I done? We did like a panel talk before. We've done what else have we done? And then yeah, like Munchiez was like the newest one that we did. But yeah, naturally it just went from like me doing parties to wanting to book myself to like, okay, I can do other things. And then I even went to school for events and shit like that. So events are always, because for me as a DJ, I was like, a lot of people aren't doing this shit right.
Right.
Like, how are you telling me that you're doing a party, you booking a DJ, and you don't have the money to pay the DJ? That's the whole reason that your party is like even successful in anyone's eyes. So I just noticed what everyone was doing wrong. I wanted to book myself, so I'm like, let me just start doing parties and shit like that. So that's how it started, and then like I said, yeah, that just grew. My interest just grew into like more stuff. So like, and like now I know like I'm sick at event planning. Like I just like to talk my own shit. Like I know I can plan an event really well. It's just now how can I like keep it going and like shit like that and like expand the team and how can we get things running and how can we do events in other cities and how can we this event had 50 people, how do we now make it 100 people and sell it out and do things like that? How can we bring new ideas and get people new experiences and shit like that? So yeah, event planning is one of those things where I'm like there's like a career there kind of thing where I want to like expand that bigger.
I love it, bro. I honestly, bro, I'm inspired by what you do because you do a lot of stuff and you do it really well. And also, you're to do what you do, bro. You have to be kind of fearless as well. So yeah. I really admire that, bro. I love that, and it's cool as fuck to me, man. I'm excited to see where it's going.
Nah, I appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, like I'm like past level 1, but like I don't feel like I'm on that level 10 yet. But it's like, oh, you guys like this now. Like wait till you
absolutely,
see. Like wait
man.
till you see what's actually in my head. Like this is only what we could have pulled off now. So I'm excited to let people like have new experiences and shit like that. Cause like I said, even if you don't like going to parties, like there might be something else you want to do to like spend your Saturday.
Absolutely.
And like there's so much things that you can do. And where I'm like, there's nothing to do in Toronto. Okay, now if I can give people a reason where I'm like, okay, this is not just your regular Saturday night where you're gonna do like X, Y, and Z. Like maybe we can give you a new experience where you're gonna remember it for like a couple years. So, cause there's definitely events I've went to where I'm like, oh, I still remember like going to this like cool event and I got this or this happened and this person was there. So if I can start providing experiences for people to like have like a new thing to look forward to, like I love that.
I love it, bro. I love it, man. And going to events like that, I always come back feeling like a little inspired as well. Like it's
exactly,
like, yo, there's a lot. You meet a lot of people with on a similar journey.
Yeah, even like if it's not like a networking event, I fucking like networking to me is like so fucking annoying. But like you just naturally meet people. Like even like so the concept of like my like event brand is called Dreams Are Working Now. So it's called Dawn.
Okay.
So every brand I've made has kind of been made in the aspect of like putting other people on. So when you go to an event, there's your photographer, your videographer, your entertainment, your the people at the door, the bar, and your people. So pretty much, I wanted all my events to have that environment where it's not a networking event, but everybody there is like dope and interested in like the same kind of vibe and things like that. So like naturally, we're like, so like what happened at Munchiez was dope. Was our server is also an artist, and our chef had an event like a couple days after. So that artist that linked up with the chef, they went on to do content later because he went to go visit the food truck, and now that's the chef's biggest video on TikTok. He had like 10K views in like
That's
2 days.
unreal.
So it's just cool that like-minded people can just come together, and then now you two. So like when I do showcases, like if this artist and this artist never knew each other before, you guys are performing together, you guys are in the green room together, you guys are naturally gonna come together, and now you guys maybe make a song. Now I'm bringing people together that weren't together and shit like that. And I think ultimately that's the best part in events, where you don't even really have to be like the outgoing person that's like networking and shit like that. But naturally, if the person besides you and this person, you guys are experiencing the same shit, you guys might exchange info and be like, oh, you're really a dope person too. And then other shit comes from that. So I think that is almost the best part of events too, is just you're in the room with like-minded people experiencing the same shit. Naturally, you guys are going to grow together and be like, or you like, there's been like instances where like people have came to my parties like 3 years later, worked at like the same restaurant, because like I said, there was 400 people, and they're like, yo, did you go to that party too? Yeah, I went to that party too. And it's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and now you guys have something to bond on that like you guys never knew. Or it could be like, yo, do you remember this Party Next Door concert that happened these years ago? And it's like, yeah, now you guys are growing on that. So there's like certain experiences that like, you know, you never know who's in the room, and you can meet them years later down the line. You can meet them there, and then you can just grow a bigger relationship with them. So
you're absolutely right, bro. You're absolutely right. And for you to facilitate that is extremely important. Yeah. Because I feel that, bro. I feel that as I kind of view it as like people that speak the same language as me. Like
100%.
Sometimes when you listen to like the same underground artist, it's the sickest thing ever.
That's
you know?
why I love concerts, because it's like, I mean, most times everybody's in that room to see that one person.
Yeah.
So we're all like, yo, this is our guy. And it's even better if it's like, okay, if it's not happening at like ACC, I call it ACC still. But if it's not happening at a big like if it's not happening at like Mod Club, I mean, I still call it like I'm gonna name every venue by like it's OG shit. So Mod Club has like 300 people. I remember seeing Black there years ago when like he had his like free Black concert. But it's like everybody there now has that experience. Like 300 people in your city have that solo experience of like, yo, I remember Black in this room.
Facts.
Now Black is doing 2 history shows.
It's very special.
He went from 300 people to like 3,000.
It's real shit.
You know, so I remember seeing like early Travis Scott shows, and then going to Travis Scott's biggest show at ACC. So it's just like when everybody's on that same vibe and like we all feel that same energy, we're like, yo, like that energy around that Travis show, because this is like days before rodeo Travis, so this is like 2015. He was on tour with Young Thug. Young Thug couldn't make it. But it was like, everybody there was like, yo, this is the guy.
Is that at Danforth Music Hall?
Danforth Music Hall. So, like, everybody in that line was like, yo, like, this is the guy. Like, this is the guy. And little did we know, he would drop more albums and become bigger and bigger star than that he is now. But that energy that was in that crowd was like, yo, we're all seeing, like... something special here. So, like, that's, like, a special moment that, like, only concerts can give you, where, like... we know why we're all here.
Yeah.
And we're all here to do the same shit and experience the same shit.
You're absolutely right, bro. Like, even when you were telling your earlier story, like, if I saw D Savage pull up and I wasn't expecting that, that would be wild. Like, that would be crazy.
Yeah, those times were crazy, because I remember, well, D Savage, like, we, like, shout out on Underground Toronto, that's what we went under. Shout out K-Frame, shout out Zabby, all of them. We like flew out D Savage to like come do like a show. I still don't even really know how that happened, but we got to hang out with D Savage and like Joey Fast for the day. And shout this is
Joey Fast.
Yeah, this is like from time. I remember they sent me like an unreleased song, and this is like right before I Know came out. Like I Know Part 2 came out, so like right before there. But D Savage was still bubbling in the underground, so like everybody that was in there was like, yo, like you're never seeing D Savage that close in a little warehouse like that ever again. Like this shit was crazy. In Toronto, definitely not. And then we did it again a month after with like Uno the Activist.
Huge as well.
Yeah, so like those are crazy times. But I remember there was like we did a party one time, and we just got a DM, and it was just like, yo, J-Soul wants to come to the party. He heard about the party. And I was like yo, what the fuck? And then like you're looking around the party and you see Wonder Girl there. You're like, yo, like what the fuck? Like, but it's just like our shit was just buzzing so much that like these people in Toronto, like the older heads and shit, because we were all like, some of us were underage. It was like 17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
And
you're
like
making noise.
Yeah, but we were making noise. We're like the people that were like 25 or like, you know, around there, were like mid-20s. We're like, yo, what the fuck's going on here? Like these kids are fucking like turning shit up. So yeah, like those times are sick where like you would literally walk in and you would see like rappers, like local rappers and shit that you fuck with. You're like, oh shit.
That's awesome, bro. That is awesome, man. And again, I'm super excited to see what it turns into. It's gonna be even crazier.
Yeah. Nah, it's dope because even those connections that like I've built from over there, like from those times, is like it still like lasts now. Where like people recognize me on the street or whatever, and they're like, "Yo, like I remember those times." So yeah, those times are sick.
Fucking friendships can be built through creating shit. It's a crazy thing.
100%, yeah. And like, yeah, I always try to look out for everybody. Like, there's opportunities and shit. Like, yo, let's like swing them people's ways and shit like that. Like,
you're a real one for that, bro. Again, like I see it. I see the work you put
100%.
in. It's very. I really, really respect it, bro.
No, I appreciate it.
One thing I want to ask you, just because I feel like you're a pretty big underground hip hop guy.
Okay.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Who are your some of your like favorite underground guys? Not even necessarily now, but your favorite, because I love like that SoundCloud era. I grew up in that shit too.
So that was my shit. Like even Same. Like DJing in like 2015 to like 2018 times. Like I was really looking back and being like, yo, we're really not playing guys like Drake or anything like that. Like we would literally play. Like I remember like the week Playboi Carti's first album came out, and literally I think I played that whole album, like front to back. We just played the whole album, and the place was going crazy. So like. Yeah, those guys like the Cardis, the Uzis, the 21s, the Kodaks, the like all those guys. Then there's like the Doo-Wop Canes and the 21 Savage. Oh, not 21. D Savage and like they're just Young Weed. Yeah, like
there's a whole wave, bro.
Yeah, then there's Key. Then there's like Father. There's like it goes deep, and then to now see like now all those guys. Like I remember like being up on like X and Ski early. Like. Yeah. I was a big No Jumper guy, like Lil Pump, Smoke Perp,
Lil Tracy.
Yeah, Lil Tracy, like all there's so much, like the list. Many. Like literally, I would just be on SoundCloud, just liking everything. Just like
me too, man.
Be on the radio stations, like yo, like what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? So it's crazy to see like okay, all these guys that like made it out of there are like mainstream. Cause like yo, Playboi Carti's headlining rolling out. Like he's the guy right now.
Trust.
And then now seeing, okay, now he starts his own label. So now you see like the Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely's, the Homicide Gangs. Oh, this shit reminding me of like when Cardi first started like 5 years ago. And then there's like the Yeats, of course. There's like the Summers, the Cans, all these type of guys. Yeah. That it's like, oh, like this shit really evolving, and like the underground scene is like not underground. Because years ago, like where Destroy Lonely is now, you would never see an artist of that size selling out a venue like History. You would never see a guy like Yeat selling out History back then. Because you got to think, like, SoundCloud those days were, like, it was a big thing, but it wasn't, like, these venues and shit weren't booking these guys. You weren't seeing that.
It was very underground.
Like, you're seeing them at maybe Mon Club, maybe Velvet Underground.
Yeah.
So for them to be, like, on the same stages as, like Tiana Taylor's or, like, other people like that, it's like... Yo, like what the fuck? So you're really like, yo, the underground is like very mainstream, and like the TikToks is like blurred the lines of like a lot of stuff like that. Where like, but like everything's exploding everywhere. Where like people are like, yo, like what the fuck? Like what's going on over there? What's going on over there? And like I love like Lancey Foes, like one of my favorite ones too. Yeah, there's so much like when people ask me about like what music I'm listening to, I'm like, it's like I can't even tell you because the list is like. Can go on forever because I'm jumping in genres where I'm listening to dancehall, Afrobeats, I'm listening to piano, I'm listening to R&B, I'm listening to hip hop. Then there's like the 20,000 subgenres of hip hop.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it goes everywhere.
It goes everywhere, bro. And kind of what you said with the TikTok, like the sound is kind of everywhere. That's why I think the street shit is more important than ever in terms of paying attention to what's going on in the city. Yeah. Like what events are happening, who's coming out. Because to me, that's where the culture really is, you know?
Yeah. I also like to see like what actually works in person. So as a DJ, you actually get to see what records actually move people. So there's a lot of things that like music labels or radio or charts or online that will appear like they're big, but what's actually moving people. And that's even what I found interesting in like 2016 and shit. where it was like, Playboi Carti is not charting, but he has this warehouse of 200 kids going fucking crazy.
Nuts.
So what's actually moving people? So like even like so right now I'm interning at a music label, so I'm just seeing how the inner workings work, like behind the scenes. How a lot of this shit is like smoke and mirrors or like paid promo and all this type of stuff, but you get to see so like as a DJ now I get to know, okay, this is what people think works and this is what actually works. And I think that's the benefit as a DJ. You get to see records work or move people. The best was like when I play a song that like you may not know the song, but now you're moving. You're like, yo. And the best compliment as a DJ is like, yo, what song is that? Or you see them Shazamming, or they start peeking at your laptop. That's the best compliment. There was like this Smoke Burp song. It used to work 100% of the time.
Ski Mask?
It was called 25-8.
Okay.
Super underground track. Like even the underground community was like, yo, what the fuck is this song? But every time I play this, someone would be like, yo, what the fuck is this? Every time. And I'm like, that's how you know certain shit move, or like when people don't even know what the song is and they're vibing, they're dancing, like their body's not even letting them act like they don't like the song.
That's real.
That's how you know what's really moving people and what songs are really doing. Because sometimes I just look at the Billboard Hot 100 sometimes as a DJ. You might have like a more corporate gig where you got to play like some Billboard shit. And you're like, what the fuck are these tracks?
Right.
But Billboard says it's popping. But I've never played them in my life. I never heard them in my life. So who's really listening to this shit?
Yeah.
Or like, you know, like certain things will be like, this is the best artist. And you're like, who? But like, yeah, as a DJ, you can't, like, people don't lie.
That's what I like, man.
People will let you know if the track you're playing is shit.
That's what always appeals to me, bro. And even going back to like X, seeing how those kids, remember, I think it was a Rolling Loud or something where the crowd was just crazy. There's a crazy photo of it.
Yeah.
Like, yo, that can't be bought.
Exactly.
You know, that's real.
Nah, the X thing is it was crazy because I remember his last performance at Rolling Loud, like before, like maybe like a week or two after he got shot. I was at that Rolling Loud, so 2018.
I think that's the one I'm talking about.
So yeah, like I remember he came out because it was like when him and like Ski were like on good terms, and then I remember like when the crowd seen him like pop out, like everybody was like, "Yo,
yeah, crazy."
And then after he came back like a couple hours later, and like he did like that set in the rain, it was pouring rain, and like everyone was just going crazy to like look at me and all of his tracks and shit. But like seeing like there was like that energy when like no one, like people knew who X was, and then when he went to jail and then he came out, holy fuck, that shit
started beefing with Drake.
Like all that shit is crazy. Like that whole era is kind of like I think needs to be studied more because it's like that lets you know when like the people were dictating shit.
Absolutely.
Like Lil Pump was going dumb crazy.
Lil Pump might have been the biggest rapper in the world for a bit.
Yeah, trust.
I swear to God.
Bro, like there's like those videos of like him performing D-Rolls at like early Rolling Louds, and it's like, yo, like the whole people are moving like, and like I said, you can't fake that.
No. Do you I'm way off topic, but fuck it, bro. You're in now.
Yeah.
Fucking, do you pay it? Were you a fan of like 70s rock and shit like that? Like especially punk 70s?
I wasn't, no, but like I'm hearing that a lot of the shit that's going on now is like.
That's kind of what I was gonna say. Like, there's a bunch of bands from that time period, like New York in the late 70s, very grimy, like underground, but made it, you know, and people went crazy. And I always felt like the underground of hip hop is similar to
100%, yeah, because it was like even if you think about like Yachty is one of the biggest rappers right now, and there was like that point when Yachty first came out where they're like, yo, this is the Antichrist of fucking
absolutely
hip-hop.
Man.
Where like the older heads were like, this is not the guy. Now he's the guy.
He's Uzi too, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Uzi, Cardi, all the mumble rap guy. 21 Savage. No one expected 21 Savage to be as big as he is now.
Kodak.
How much Kodak gives everyone a hit every year?
Honestly, the two that I think are the ultimate examples, Sosa, Chief Keef, and Young Thug. Yep. Bro, Young Thug, early people were clowning.
Yup.
Unbelievable music.
I think the most influential time, not most of all time, because people will probably get on my neck about that, but like 2013 to 2018, you've seen there was a shift. So like 2008 when Kanye dropped 808s and Heartbreaks, there was a shift. And before that, it was probably like the early 2000s. There's just like certain time periods that just shift the next generation. All the shit you're seeing now is from like 2016, all that type of shit. And then I mean everybody now is just sampling old records and just bringing them back from early 2000s. But like the hip hop that's actually like pushing the needle is really coming from like that 2016.
I completely agree with you, bro. And even like I'm gonna again just throw this out there, but like the 2012, 2013, like the whole ASAP Rocky. Yeah. Yo, if you ever think back on the ASAP Rocky like family tree, it's nuts, bro.
Yeah. Because
he was early with Yachty. He was early with Cardi. He was early with all these guys. X even. He showed X a lot of love. Like
like ASAP Mob is crazy. It was crazy. Even if we're talking about in that time period, you have Odd Future. Look at the Odd Future family T. Yeah, Frank Ocean, the internet. You have Taco that's in all these movies and shit now. Like Jasper's on Jackass. Tyler the Creator is one of the biggest rappers in the world. Like, so like, yo, like there's been a lot of good moments in hip hop that just now you just see the results of it and it's crazy. I mean, like ASAP Rocky. Like the ASAP Mob, like that's kind of how like my name is kind of structured. Like that's based on like how my name.
Yo, he changed spelling. They changed spelling, bro.
Yeah, so literally the whole reason why there's an X in my name is because of like, he's like that's when they were turning the fucking A's to V's and all
bro. They were really on that shit and
yeah.
The Rocky kind of is not. You can't say he's ever became like the biggest rapper in the world, but he's built such a fucking interesting. Yeah, like he's killing it, bro. Yeah, for obvious reasons,
bro. Like I wish he like didn't go fashion more and stayed on the rapping shit. Cause like in 2013 when Live Love ASAP was out, nobody could tell me there was a better rapper than ASAP Rocky.
Fire.
I promise you that was the best rapper in the world.
He was on fire, bro.
Like his flow was it was too clean. Like I never heard no shit like that before. And then the beats like with Clamp Casino and all that shit like Rocky at that point was literally, like I said, like the greatest rapper of all time. Like for me, Drake is always number one. But there's been times where I'm like, yo, like there's these other guys, man. They're going crazy.
Absolutely, bro. Rocky's fucking that run he had was unreal.
Yeah. Like, and he's always good with the music. It's just like you could tell it's not his priority.
No, and I fuck with that too, man, because he's growing up as well.
Exactly.
I think he's probably close to 40 years old now. He's not like a young man.
That's crazy. Like all the people like I grew up on now, it's like damn, guys getting old, brother.
I was watching a Danny Brown interview. He's like, yeah, I just turned 40. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, like I remember when Danny Brown first came out, like those 2013 was a good year for hip hop.
Was.
Cause that like lays the foundation of like all of our biggest stars. That's your like Future probably came in like 2012. But then you have your Kendricks, your Coles, your Drakes, your Danny Browns, your ASAPs, your Odd Futures, all these guys. So
I love talking hip hop history, man. There's so much to talk about. Like, even like that recent.
Yeah, I'm a strictly music. Like every time people try to come up to me, they're like sports. I'm like, nah. You like movies, TV shows? Nah. Like you gonna talk about music all day? Like I'll talk forever. Like I'm a strictly music guy. Like. Even like the clothes I wear, everything, like half of the time you're seeing me like music merch.
Good for you,
music merch. You're seeing me like at a concert, something to do with music. Like I'm like live, breathe, eat, shit, music. Like it's crazy.
I relate to that too, bro. Because even like I was always that kid that was looking for new shit to listen to.
Yeah.
And even
I was a LimeWire bandit, like
absolutely. And then after that, YouTube to MP3.
Yep.
Honestly, I still use that. Fuck yeah. Same. But even like funny story. You know the song Freaky T?
Yeah, Tia Kareem.
You fuck with it? Mm-hmm. I think it's fire. I had not heard that until yesterday. I'm walking in my neighborhood and like a 13-year-old kid is blasting it, riding his bike. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, what song is that? So I'm fucking Shazamming the kid's phone. I just thought it was like a funny image.
Yeah.
Like about to be 20. I'm 27. Yeah. Bonding over this kid's music. Banger, bro. Tia Kareem.
I think we talk about this off camera, but I was saying how like I like hearing other people's like what the fuck they're playing.
Yeah.
Listening to what the kids are bumping, like they're always on some new shit still. Like they're the shit that like my little cousins like and all shit. I'm like, what you know about Lil Durk and all these
shit.
people and shit like that, but just seeing like, because obviously you should see like what the kids actually like, because that's what they're gonna respond to. Because when I was like running the fuck out of Nothing Was the Same and Take Care, now you see that Drake is the guy.
Exactly.
That music that you're bumping like when you're in high school like sticks with you forever. So you want to see what the kids are really into and what they're actually moving, because that's what's really gonna transcend. Because what was cool the other day, I did it was like a school dance. It was like grade 7 and 8s.
Okay.
So seeing what the fuck they reacted to was like mind blowing. So like you see Ice Spice work and you're like, okay, Ice Spice is gonna be like, I already know Ice Spice is gonna be here for a long time, but the way that the kids reacted when they heard the Ice Spice records, you're just like, okay, nah, it's like a real star power. Cause the kids will let you know for sure if they don't like the song. When I said people are not faking it, if you play for some kids, if they go crazy, that shit go stick for them forever. So
I agree with you.
That was an interesting DJ gig, because you're just watching like, okay, they like these classic songs, and then they like these songs, and these songs really work, and this really works. This doesn't work, okay? So like just seeing all that was really interesting.
We always, and kind of that's why I brought up Rocky, because he's always, I think, had his ear to the younger generation. And
yeah.
I always kind of took that. Like, I always want that too. Like, I want to hear what the
Well, I would say the biggest person that did that is definitely Drake. Like,
I was gonna say Gucci.
Yeah, I still give it to Drake, but Gucci was really
Drake
good with
is
it.
a monster though.
Gucci was really good with it because he reinvented himself with like Pooh Shiesty, and then he had like the Waka Flocka wave and certain guys like that. But I think Drake, like the way he just like wave jumps,
he knows everything, bro. It's fucking
everything,
Toronto.
every genre. Like,
I still feel he was pretty early on the like Pressa and Smoke Dogg and all that. Like they were buzzing for sure. Yeah. But like
in Toronto, you're like, that makes sense. But like even like the Afrobeat shit, like you're talking about a time, cause like just me DJing and just like knowing how the shit went. You weren't hearing Afrobeats at parties or in clubs like and like a set until like 2018, 2019. Like it was straight dancehall. So if you're not playing hip hop R&B, you're playing dancehall.
Right. So
when Drake came out with like One Dance and shit like that, that introduced me to the world of that. Even like when Drake jumped on like shit with Skepta and shit, that opened me up to that. When Drake jumped on tracks with Popcorn and stuff like that, opened me up to dancehall. So even like he was on pretty like Bad Bunny pretty early with like Mia and stuff like that in like 2018. So there's like certain shit that like I'm like, yo, because I think Drake is like a real, like he's just like a real music guy too. Like,
I agree. He was the, to me, like the first time I heard Migos.
Yeah, he's a like Migos. Cole, like if you look at his that Club Paradise tour, he was bringing out Waka Flocka, J. Cole, Kendrick, A$AP Rocky.
Yeah.
All these people. Even he did OVO Fest. He booked Frank Ocean at one point. Like,
even his little like I Love McConan era, like I fuck with that too.
Yeah, Block Boy JB, who heard of him before that. Like there's like certain shit, like he's really like the Fetty Wops, like the when Drake was
smart guy, man.
Yeah, like he does it right. Like that, like I said, that's my number one. Like we could debate all day. Anyone could debate all day with me about Drake. Like I'm a that's my guy.
But what is there to debate with Drake, bro? Like it's assault. Like that's what
I think. But people like there's always criticism that whatever he can do more for the city, or he does this, or he does this. But I don't know, bro. Like to me, I'm like that is the ideal situation for any artist. You never seen it, but there's only been like Jay-Z and Kanye that have like transcended generations.
Yeah.
Cause even kids now are like, they're like, yo, peak Drake is 2018. I'm like, what the fuck?
And there's like 10 years of prior Drake.
Do you not know 2012 too. Drake?
Yeah.
There's 2008 Drake.
It's underground Drake. Yeah.
Like, so like that's how you know that like, even like my grandma will fucks with Drake's songs.
Drake is a household name, bro. And in 2023, very, very rare.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's real shit. With the kids' music, fucking sometimes the shit they're playing, I fuck with.
Yeah.
You ever hear that? I don't even know how to pronounce the guy's name, like Rebsic or some shit. It blew up on TikTok. It's more of like a fast It's like a weird techno song, but it's a fire, bro. Like some of these songs are hard. Even like Pink Panthers, bro. Like to me, she's like the GOAT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like that.
She's like 18 or
that
some
UK,
shit.
That UK garage and all that type of shit.
Unreal.
Like, yeah, nah. Music, like there's no genres, there's no borders in music no more. Like it's crazy. And like TikTok is just. I mean, I don't really understand the sped up shit. But some people really love it. Like I'm more like the slow chopped and screw type of guy. Too. But I don't really understand like the sped up shit. But like if people like it, they like it. That's what moves the records. And like
facts. I feel like if I was a little younger, Yeat would be my favorite rapper. But I think I may be past the Yeat phase. Like he just didn't do it for me, and I wanted to. I tried, you know, because the beats are hard. Yeah. But just something about it didn't fit with me.
Yeah, I was talking to some older people too, and they're like, "I don't get Yeat." And I try to like put them on. I'm like, "You'll play this one. It's a little bit more digestible." And they're like, "It sounds like everything." I'm like, "Okay, here's this one. It's like a bit more of its sound." And they're like, "Nah, this one's not it." Well, I'm just like, I don't know. Like Yeat is just like. He's a guy. Like I don't know. For me,
I like that he's a guy. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah, I'm 24, so I don't know. Like I think, but I also just like I feel like I listen to music like in a different way. So I kind of understand. Okay, like this would work here, or this is good here, or I listen to this for this. I feel like a lot of people listen to music with like the same lens. There's no substance, or the beat's good, or this is good, like stuff like that. So I don't know. Like I feel like I listen to music a little bit differently, but like me and all my friends are around the same age. Like we fuck with Yeat. So
absolutely, bro. Shout out to Yeat. Man. Yeah, I feel like if like I would have been a fan. Maybe I still will one day.
Yeah,
bro,
you never know. Like what I always say too is like when that shit clicks, it fucking hits you like absolutely. A train, like a shit.
Fam, I would listen to like Lil Peep.
Oh, I love Lil Peep, yeah.
And some people will say this is the worst music ever. I don't fucking fight you over that type of shit, you know? So it's what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Nah, music is like it's. I even tell like a lot of the homies that make music this too. I'm like, if you like it, somebody out there has like the same type of ears as you.
Absolutely.
So you never know. Someone may not like it here, but likes this. Like I'm working with this artist right now, and like his sound is like a little bit different. And we played it for some people, and some people were like, I don't know, or I like this more, or I don't like this. And I'm just like, yo, me and you think this shit's fire. There's somebody out there that's going to feel the same way. If 10 people don't like the song, then, you know, like.
Absolutely right.
So, like music is very subjective. Like, I be hearing some shit, I'm like, what the fuck are like I listening to?
Yep.
Or other times I'm just like, yo, this shit's dope. And people are like, yo, what the hell are you listening to? So, yeah, it's
the
how
most
it goes.
Subjective. I think probably the most subjective thing in the world, music.
100%, yeah. Because there's no way you can like actually dictate.
No.
Like this is good and this is not. I mean, there's those moments where you're like everyone's just like comes to consensus. We're like, all right, this is a good song, and I guess like that's how you know. But or like how long something lasts. But there's still you can't like it's on a report card. You can't know.
No. Do you fuck with that? I saw there was some writer in LA that gave rappers a report card. Did you see that?
Yeah, but also I just don't agree with it. Even like when people do like lists, is it honestly it's just an arguing piece in my opinion.
That's all it is.
It's just like that's all it is. Now working in writing, I kind of understand a lot of this shit more. When you work behind the scenes, like you see everything, you're like, okay, this is why this happens. But so all that shit is really just for clicks, and it's just like drive conversation and like generate But like it's all subjective and like or I be seeing some shit I'm like what do you mean or whatever, and it's also just like everyone has like different like jump points of like
exactly
what you think. So you might hear Coi Leray's song Players and think, oh, that's a nice beat, she came up with that beat, and then you don't realize that like that song's been sampled by Ice Cube and Diddy and this was so whatever your jump point is. So like if you first heard Coi Leray, so if that's the only time you heard that instrumental, you'd be like, oh, this is an interesting beat. Your dad or your grandfather or whoever that listened to hip hop for years is just like, this is unoriginal.
Facts.
It depends on what your jump points are.
Absolutely right, bro. I absolutely agree, man. This was a fucking awesome conversation, man. An hour, 20 minutes.
Shit, I can go forever.
Yo, this was unreal, man. You gotta come back. We gotta work some other form, you know?
Nah, for sure. Like, yeah. I'm definitely down.
Let's get it, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk it. Like I said, when it comes to music, like I'm a talk.
I love that, man. Yo, shout out your social media. Anything you want to promote, Floor is yours, man.
I don't really have anything too much going on, but or like I do, but I don't. But like, you know, book me to DJ your shit. I have a playlist called Twxll Shells. You know, you should check it out on Spotify and Apple Music. You can find me on all socials, TWXLL. You know, just follow me and engage with me. You know, like there's always something we can do and get done or whatever. Yeah, like I said, there's not much to promote. You know, just follow me on Instagram, and then that's my central hub. That's where I send everybody. Go to the Instagram, and then you know we can go from there.
Yo, follow Twxll, man. If you want to learn more about who's popping, follow this guy, bro.
Appreciate it.
My guy, much appreciated.
Appreciate you for having me. Shout out to Uncle Vinny because this is my first interview ever, and I was telling him off camera that things like this are important because, not to get like dark or whatever, but you know, whenever people are not here no more, you need these like certain captures and time capsules of time to be like, I remember when this person was here. So I definitely want to come back when I hit some more milestones and shit, and then we could talk about, yo, I remember when like da. So like this is important shit. Like, if this is your first time on this shit, you're watching because of me, or you just came across this on YouTube or whatever, like, yo, tap in and watch all the interviews and like take in everybody that he's thing, because he's really tapped in. Like, he'd be saying I'm tapped in, he knows the people. So, you know, make sure that you guys really engage with this guy. Appreciate that, fam. I didn't pay him to say that either. Nah. No one would pay me to say no shit like that stuff. Real one, man. Yo, shout out to you, Will. Versatile Vigilante. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's fucking get it, man.